Ever wondered what it's like to own a car collection as big and bold as Shaq himself? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into the world of Shaq's giant car collection. A jaw-dropping feat of custom rides, super slick sports cars, and million-dollar masterpieces. Let's take a closer look at the cars that match his larger-than-life personality. Shaquille O'Neal doesn't just drive luxury cars. He redesigns them to fit his larger-than-life personality, and his Ferrari 355 F1 Spider is not just any Ferrari. This thing was completely transformed to accommodate his 7'1", 300+ pound frame in a way that only Shaq could pull off. Now, if you've ever sat in a Ferrari 355, you know that these things aren't exactly built for tall guys, let alone someone the size of an NBA legend. So instead of struggling to fold himself into the driver's seat like a human origami project, Shaq went full mad scientist mode on this Italian supercar. First order of business, remove the roof. Permanently. That's right, he scrapped the soft top and replaced it with a custom-to-new cover, turning it into a full-time convertible just to make sure he could actually fit inside. But that wasn't enough. Legroom was still an issue, so Shaq did something no Ferrari engineer ever imagined. He moved the fuel tank to the front just to free up extra space in the cabin. That is some next-level customization. And of course, you can't just drive a Ferrari that feels good. You need one that looks good, too. The interior got a full two-tone black and gray leather treatment with extra-wide aftermarket seats, each embroidered with Shaq's signature Superman logo. Because let's be real, if anyone gets to customize a Ferrari with a Superman theme, it's Shaq Diesel. And now, let's talk power. This thing still brings the heat. It's got a 3.5-liter V8 cranking out 375 horsepower, pushing it from 0 to 60 in just 4.6 seconds. And because Shaq's ride wouldn't be complete without a little extra flair, he threw in a custom Alpine sound system to keep the vibes while tearing up the road. And if you thought Shaq's custom Ferrari 355 F1 Spider was wild, wait till you see what he did with his Dodge Challenger RT convertible, a ride so bold it earned the nickname Shaq-Cat. This beast is pure muscle with a 5.7-liter Hemi V8 pumping out 375 horsepower, launching from 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds. But Shaq didn't just settle for raw power, he went all in on style. The first thing you'll notice, those menacing red LED headlights, giving it a look straight out of a Fast and Furious movie. And it doesn't stop there. This thing is glowing inside and out with a striking underglow lighting system, making sure everyone sees him coming before they even hear that Hemi roar. And while the Challenger never came as a factory convertible, that didn't stop Shaq. He had the roof chopped off to give it a sleek open-top design, because when you're 7'1", sometimes you just need the extra headroom. The Hemi decals on the side are a nod to classic Mopar muscle, giving it that vintage Plymouth Barracuda vibe, but with a modern edge. And just when you think Shaq's garage couldn't get any crazier, boom! Enter the Vanderhall Venice, a sleek three-wheeler that looks like something straight out of a futuristic Bond movie. But here's the thing, this isn't just any Venice. Shaq had to get the chassis extended just to fit his 7'1" frame. Because let's be real, a stock Vanderhall is about the size of his sneakers. Now, this thing might not have a massive V8 like his Challenger, but don't let that fool you. It's got a 1.4-liter turbocharged engine pushing 194 horsepower, which in something this light means it can rocket from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. And because of its low-slung open cockpit design, it feels even faster. The handling, still razor sharp even with the modifications, making it one of the most nimble rides in Shaq's collection. Style-wise, the Vanderhall Venice is pure roadster perfection, blending classic curves with modern performance. It's not just about looking cool, it's about exclusivity. This isn't a car that you see every day, and Shaq's in good company with owners like Jeremy Renner and Jamie Foxx. And if you thought Shaq's Vanderhall Venice was unique, well, wait till you see what he did to a 2006 Mercedes S550, because this isn't just a Mercedes, it is a luxury masterpiece, transformed into a one-of-a-kind convertible fit for a champion. And seriously, that isn't exaggerating. Shaq ordered this car during the Miami Heat's legendary 2006 champion season, cementing it as a piece of both automotive and basketball history. Now, a stock S550 is already a luxury powerhouse, but you know Shaq doesn't do ordinary. So he turned to Ben Specialist Lorinser, a high-end tuning company known for modifying elite German cars. The first and most dramatic change, the roof. Gone. Of course. And that's right, this originally was a 4-door executive sedan, but Shaq had it completely re-engineered into a long wheelbase convertible, making it one of the most extravagant open-top S-classes ever built. But it's not just about chopping the roof off. This car was given a full Lorinser body kit, adding a more aggressive stance and a powerful presence on the road. And sitting on massive 22-inch rims, it looked even more imposing. But the real showstopper? Those suicide rear doors. Yeah, Shaq wanted grand entrances in style, and nothing says luxury quite like rear hinge doors that open in reverse, letting him step out like royalty every single time he arrives somewhere. Inside, it is all about class. The pearl white exterior is beautifully complemented by a tan leather interior, a color combo that screams Miami Heat championship energy. This isn't just a car, it is a statement piece, a ride that turns heads wherever it goes. And just when you think Shaq's Mercedes S550 convertible was as wild as it gets, he flips the script with something completely different. His 2017 Polaris Slingshot, aka the Sling Shack. This isn't your average luxury cruiser or muscle car. This is a 3-wheeled, open-air thrill ride that looks like it came straight from a futuristic video game. But of course, Shaq couldn't just drive a regular Slingshot. No way. The stock version only comes with 2 seats, which is already a tight squeeze for most people, let alone a 7'1" NBA legend. So what did he do? He expanded it to fit 4 seats, turning it into a one-of-a-kind Shaq-sized joyride. And because no ride in his collection is complete without next-level entertainment, Shaq had this thing loaded with a massive 18-speaker sound system. That is more speakers than some nightclubs, meaning this Slingshot isn't just loud on the road, it is loud in every possible way. Now, let's talk about what makes the Slingshot unique. It's minimalist to the extreme. No roof, no doors, and just a tiny windshield to keep the wind from completely blasting you in the face. But that's part of the appeal. This thing was built for raw, open-air driving, and with its low-slung stance and lightweight frame, it handles like a go-kart on steroids. Under the hood, or, well, what little hood there is, you've got a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine making 173 horsepower, which might not sound like a lot, but in a 3-wheeled, ultra-lightweight design, it is more than enough to make every drive feel like an adventure. And here's a fun fact. The Polaris Slingshot is manufactured in Alabama, making it one of the few all-American rides in Shaq's collection. But this isn't just about what's under the hood, it's about having fun. The Sling Shack is a perfect example of how Shaq doesn't just buy cars, he makes them his own, turning every ride into something that fits his larger-than-life personality. And just when you think Shaq's rides can't get any crazier, we roll into something straight out of a hip-hop music video, his 2002 Cadillac Escalade. But let's be clear, this isn't just any Escalade. This is a full-blown, heavily customized, larger-than-life Shaq-mobile, built to command attention just like the man himself. First off, the stance. This thing is sitting on massive 26-inch wheels, because obviously a regular Escalade just wasn't big enough. But what really sets it apart? The elongated scissor-style doors. That's right, this isn't your typical SUV where the doors swing open like any old Cadillac. Nope, Shaq went all in and had them lift upwards, Lamborghini style, making every entrance feel like stepping onto a red carpet. And speaking of statements, Shaq's legendary Superman obsession is on full display here. A giant Superman logo is stamped right onto the ride, letting everyone know exactly who is behind the wheel. And it's wrapped in a deep burgundy color, giving it that bold yet classy look that still turns heads decades later. But here's where things get really crazy. This Escalade is basically a rolling concert hall. Shaq had it fitted with 8 Audiobahn 12-inch subwoofers, turning it into one of the loudest, most bass-heavy SUVs on the planet. Whether he was rolling through LA or just vibing in the driveway, this thing could probably shake the pavement from blocks away. Under the hood, you've got a 5.3-liter V8 engine packing plenty of muscle to move all of that extra weight. But this ride wasn't just about power. It was about celebration. See, Shaq picked up this Escalade right after the Lakers won their 3rd straight championship, making it a true piece of NBA history. And if there's one thing you should never do, it's question Shaq's ability to afford a car, because that's exactly what happened when he went to buy a Bentley. The story goes that a salesperson had the audacity to ask if he could afford one. So Shaq did what only Shaq would do. He bought 3. On the spot. Yeah, not one, not two, but 3 Bentleys in one single purchase, just to prove a point. One of those Bentleys was the Bentley Azure, a car that perfectly blends luxury, power, and presence. And while it was the most affordable of the 3 at $179,990, let's be real, that is still a price tag that most people can only dream about. But for Shaq, this wasn't just about the money, it was about making a statement. The Azure is a true luxury convertible, designed for effortless cruising with the top down and the wind in your face. Under the hood, you've got a 4-liter V8 petrol engine pushing out 335 horsepower. Not the craziest numbers in Shaq's collection, but more than enough for smooth, high-end driving. And with a top speed of 155 miles an hour, it had plenty of power to match its elegance. But of course, what really makes this car special isn't just the specs. It's the fact that it represents Shaq's larger-than-life personality. He doesn't just buy cars, he buys them in multiples, turning even a simple trip to the dealership into a legendary story. The Bentley Azure is the kind of ride that commands respect, and it fits right in with his collection of supersized, ultra-custom, and absolutely unforgettable vehicles. And just when you think Shaq might slow down after buying 3 Bentleys in one go, he goes out and customizes a Lamborghini. Because of course, a stock Lambo just isn't big enough for him. Enter the 2007 Lamborghini Gallardo. But this isn't just any Gallardo. This one was stretched and modified by the legendary Gafoglio family metal crafters, a company known for their work on Boeing jets. Yeah, Shaq's Lambo was customized by the same people who work on airplanes. Now, if you know anything about Lamborghinis, you know they're low, sleek, and compact, which is the complete opposite of what Shaq needs. So the solution? Extend the entire wheelbase by 12 inches. That is right, they actually physically stretched the car, giving Shaq the extra legroom he needed to fit comfortably. But of course, it didn't stop there. They also extended the doors, the roof, and the side windows so that everything stayed proportional. Under the hood, this Gallardo still packs a 5-liter V10 engine, delivering a massive 500 horsepower. And even with all the modifications, it is still ridiculously fast. 0 to 60 mile an hour time in just 4.2 seconds. That is supercar performance with Shaq-sized comfort. This car proves one thing. Shaq does not compromise. If a Lamborghini doesn't fit, he doesn't just settle for another car, he makes the Lamborghini fit him. And that's the kind of next-level customization that defines his entire car collection. Well, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more insane celebrity car collections. See you next time, gearheads.